Hello, hello, my name is Max, this is Table Thoughts with Table Knots, and today I wanted to talk to you about 10 of my absolute favorite games that I've yet to play. These are games that I really just think for some reason or another that they would really click with me. And they're games that I've wanted to play for however long they've been out, or however long I've been aware of them, and a lot of them are new, so you'll probably be familiar with quite a few of these, but they are ones that just for some reason or another, make me think that I would be like best friends with this game if I were able to play it. And hopefully I will be able to in the near future at some point in time. So this is in no particular order, just games that I've thought of that I've written down that I really think would be amazing. And I hope you can either tell me, yeah, Max, I think you would really like that based on what else you like, or Max, I think you're wrong, that would not be a game for you. Let me know. So we're starting off with a brand new 2020 release. This is Dwellings of Eldervale. So if you know anything about me, if you've watched this channel for a while, you may realize that I love Ameritrash thematic games. And the thinkier, not the thinky's a bad thing, but the drier Euro games don't always do it for me. And so Eldervale looks like a real nice mishmash of the two. You get the dice rolling and the thematic art, and then you get some Euro placement mechanics as well. And I really think that would just be great for me. I could be wrong, but that's one of them. Next on my list is Cthulhu Death May Die. Now this game is another thematic game, a storytelling cinematic experience that I really think I'd hit it off with. It's a horror game, but you actually fight Cthulhu and the Elder Ones. You don't run away or you don't try and stop their growth. You punch them and you shoot them and you fight them. And that just seems so cool to me. And this is one that I really want. I also just like miniatures. They're a little bit of a boon to me. They're a little bit of a draw in other games. So this is another one that I really want to play. Another very recent release is In the Hall of the Mountain King. I've not played this yet, but I like the theme. It's interesting, right? Just a bunch of orcs, ogres. Now that I'm talking about it, I can't even recall. And you're basically excavating your mountain home and trying to build monuments and statues for your ancestors and gaining points in doing so, of course. And it shares a lot of mechanics that I like. I'm a big fan of tile placement. Tile placement is one of my favorite mechanics, and it has that in spades. It's also just a route building game, which I've really enjoyed in past games that I've played. And just the theme and the combination of those two really makes me think that it would be a favorite of mine. Next is actually a solo game. I've never played a strict solo game. I've played games solo, but even then, very rarely. Solo is not something that I typically do, but this draws me in a little more. This is Under Falling Skies. This is by Czech Games Edition, just released this year. And it looks just like Asteroids, the board game, right? You're rolling dice, you're using your dice in a worker placement fashion, putting them on certain places, and you're trying to destroy these aliens before they get to your base and your bunker. And that's just cool, right? Like, that just seems cool to me. I want to play Asteroids, the board game. I think I might hit it off awesome with this, but I really don't know. This one's a bit of a toss-up for me because I don't play solo games, so I'm not sure how I'd get along with it. Next on my list is another CGE game. This is Lost Ruins of Arnak. So I do own this one, but I've not played it yet. The theme is enticing, but not overwhelmingly so. I've seen the theme before, and it's the whole, Indiana Jones, search for ruins, find treasure, whatever. I like that theme, but it doesn't have any particular draw to me. But it looks like it's a very middleweight game, which I like. That's kind of my specialty, right? I like either the real hardcore Ameritrash that are easy but fun cinematic experiences, or I like a fairly mid to lightweight game with strategic decision making, but nothing super heavy. That's not to say I can't like those. I have in the past. They're just not what I try and play more often than not. This one seems to do that well. You've got some card drafting, you've got some worker placement, some stuff like that. And I think that combined with the theme will probably draw me in, and just pretty components. I'm a sucker for pretty components. It's not the most gorgeous game in the world, but it's nice looking. Next on my list is another 2020 release. This is The Search for Planet X. This is one that I want so badly. It's been out of stock for months. I want to play it. I was always a Clue fan growing up. That was like my game, especially, I mean, I don't mean growing up like when I was 10. I mean, I'm talking like 2-3 years ago. Clue was still the one that I really wanted to play the most. I love that strategic deduction, and I'd write every single thing I could down. It came to a point, unfortunately, now where people just don't play with me anymore. I mean, they probably would if I requested it, but they certainly don't want to, which is not a good thing. But I just really dug in deep on that Clue game and figuring out everything I possibly could, and I think Search for Planet X is a pretty nice themed version of a pure deduction game that I really, really want to try. There is an app, so if that's something you hate, don't even give it a go. But I have heard that the app is very well done, so I'm looking forward to trying it whenever it becomes available. Next on my list is Mechs vs. Minions. This is by Riot Games, otherwise known for League of Legends. It's a cooperative game that has you playing as the Yordles in that game. You've got Tristana and you've got Heimerdinger and stuff like that. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry I'm wrong, but I think that I'm right. And honestly, it's just gorgeous production with a theme that I know and love. I'm a League fan. I don't play it all the time, but when I do play games these days, it's probably going to be League or Hades or something like that. So that theme makes me want to get in. The gorgeous production is just knocked it out of the park for me. And cooperative games, I mean, what's not to like? I can't wait until I can eventually get my hands on a copy of Mechs vs. Minions. Next is Baldur's Gate. I just put BSG on my paper. Next is Battlestar. Woo, lads. Next is Battlestar Galactica, the board game. Now, I don't know much about Battlestar Galactica, unfortunately. Yet, I still want to play this game, and I still think it would be a big hit for me. It's got all the theme to me, right? It's very thematic. It's got that negotiation, that bluffing, that player power that I really, really, really want to try this game. And I know many people who call this their favorite game of all time. I mean, I want to dive in. I want to try this game. It's not Twilight Imperium levels big, but it is a large, long game. So I don't know when I'll be able to give this one a go, but I do want to try it desperately. I think I'd love it. Next is Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective. This is another game that I actually own. It's on my shelf. I owned for a while. We even pulled out one point in time. It was like 11:30 at night, and we were just flipping through like the base rulebook, and we're like, nah, it's too late. Let's put it away. Let's go to bed and revisit. And we just haven't revisited it. And honestly, that deduction, that murder mystery, some of my wife and I's favorite shows are the Midsummer Murders, the NCIS, the stuff like that, right? I mean, say what you will about it, but we love that stuff. And so I really think that Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective is going to be a huge hit for us when and if we're actually able to sit down and play it. We just got to do it. But I think we'll love it. Then, I got 2 honorable mentions at the end, but this is the final one in my top 10 list. Again, no particular order. Game of Thrones, the board game. Another one that I own, sitting on the bottom of my shelf, just haven't had a chance to play it. I was a big Game of Thrones fan. I'm sure many of you can be there with me, where I loved this game this show to a certain point. I haven't even gone back to watch it. It was like season 6, and I was like, man, I can't wait till the show ends so I can rewatch it and see Ned again and some favorite characters. And then it ended, and I was like, what's the point? But still, the board game seems incredibly fun. It's, again, that same kind of negotiation, thematic game that really seems to speak to me, one I really want to give a go, but another long 5 to 6 hour game. And I think it plays best at 5 to 6 people. I could be wrong on that, but tough one to get to the table. My 2 honorable mentions are actually 2 games that were on this list 2 weeks ago, but I've played since then. So I just wanted to tell you that they were there, but I since have played them. I'm not going to spoil too much about it because I've got videos on them both coming out soon. But Nemesis and Parks were both on my top 10 games I've never played list until the past 2 weeks. I just played Parks New Year's Eve, and I've played Nemesis twice over the past 3 weeks, I think. 2 weeks, maybe. 3 weeks now. Either way, I really enjoyed them both. So I think maybe this list is actually going to be a good list that when I play them, they will remain in my collection. I want to revisit this once I've played them and see how they actually worked out for me. But anyways, that's the top 10 games that I've never played. What are some games that you are really looking forward to trying and think that you would love, but just haven't had the chance to table yet? Let me know. Thank you for watching. As always, like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and we will see you next time.